say this, we are in the state of ihram. What does the state of ihram mean? Harama means sacred. It also means prohibited. And ihram also means to prohibit upon ourselves. So once we wear the ihram with the intention and pronounce the talbiyah, it means we have willfully placed ourselves in a particular state. We have accepted to place ourselves in a particular state, and that state will not be removed until the completion of all the requirements of that ihram. Now, this ihram that we will wear for Masjid al-Shajara will be the ihram of Umrah Tamattu. Until we finish all the requirements of Umrah Tamattu, the restrictions of the ihram will not be alleviated. What are the restrictions of the ihram? Now we will go through them one by one, and of course we'll go 3 or 4 days, so we'll explain them slowly. But since some of them really do concern people, I think it's better that we read through. The first one is hunting. Yes? Now, obviously none of you are going to be out hunting. There's ample food, but just in case somebody wants to, feel their natural sort of way of being within the world, but please avoid hunting in any case. There are certain exceptions to hunting. We can kill domesticated animals. I'm just saying, if there's a possibility that one of us gets lost in the wilderness, yes, in the state of ihram, and they have to hunt, you can go for fishing, that's fine. It's not funny, it's true. What if somebody is left behind at Masjid Shajara? What will they do? They're not going to starve to death, right? You can go for fishing, that's if you find any water, otherwise you have to go probably travel to Bahrain to find some water. Anyway, you can fish, it's not a problem, it's not known as hunting. You can't kill wild animals in hunting. You can't break the eggs of wild animals for the sake of eating or breaking or whatever. All of this, the very good thing about Hajj is it's very simple. Honestly, it's the most simplest thing I've ever come across. There are only 2 kafaras for everything you do. Either a camel or a sheep. Just know that if you make a mistake, you're probably liable for sacrificing a camel. It'll make it easier not to make mistakes. It's very difficult to get camels and to sacrifice them. I mean, there are a lot of cows around, but it's a penalty
that's
cost
about 1,500 pounds.
Yeah, so just imagine, breaking 1 egg means 1,500 pounds. It's an expensive egg. So whatever you do, don't hunt and don't break eggs, okay? However, domesticated animals, we can slaughter, we can eat. Because somebody might ask, well, what about going to a restaurant en route to Makkah? Can we eat eggs? Of course you can eat eggs at that point, yes? It's not eggs from wild animals. And we can eat meat at those restaurants because they have already slaughtered domesticated animals, so it's not a problem. Can I just ask, for my own sort of understanding, would anybody have even asked that question? Can we eat en route to Makkah eggs and meat and fish? You would have. Well, it's good that I'm saying this then. So that's first thing, hunting is not allowed. The next 3 things, 4, are to do with man and their interaction with women. There has to be no sexual union between man and women. Even if a person is being accompanied by his wife, he is not allowed to look at her with desire or lustfully, and she's not allowed to look at him lustfully in that state of ihram. Or they may not touch each other through desire or lust, or even talk with each other. Now, if a person cannot engage with his own wife in this way, then you can imagine the prohibition of doing that with a woman or a man that is not related. So we have to be, of course nobody does these things, but I'm just saying, since it's in there, I have to maybe mention them to you. Number 7, it is haram to recite nikah whilst in ihram. It is haram to bear witness to anybody else's nikah. It is haram to recite anybody else's nikah in ihram, whether they are in ihram or not in ihram. The quotas are safe because they don't know how to pronounce anything in Arabic anyway. So. Number 8, which is now getting to things that do involve us, wearing perfume. Wearing perfume is haram, and we'll go through the penalties of these things, and once you see the penalty, you will know that I don't mind making it haram for the rest of my life. Wearing perfume is not allowed during ihram, but it may not only be in the form of perfumes and scents. Wearing garments which are scented is also haram. Smelling naturally scented plants is also haram. However, eating fruits which have a good scent is not haram. Using oils and ointments that are scented is also haram. So you might get a scenario in which applying lotion might be permissible, but it is haram because it has scent. The bottom line is, avoid all perfume scented substances. Now that's on the one end of the scale. On the other side, we are not allowed to block our noses from foul smells. But we are allowed to walk swiftly and to pass them quickly, but we are not allowed to block them. There are certain cases in which eating certain substances which are scented but are not considered as foods, at the consumption of those substances, there would be penalty. There is one exception, and that is the khuluq of the Kaaba. When you go to the Kaaba, you will find beautiful fragrance emanating from the walls of the Kaaba. And afterwards, if somebody performs their tawaf and they want to do mustajab, then their clothes and ihram will acquire the scent of the Kaaba. This is exempted from the law of not having scent upon our person. Number 9, wearing sewn clothes by man. Now what does that mean? We have already stated that men will wear 2 seamless clothes. However, due to cold or due to need, if they need to wear other garments, then they are permitted to wear other garments, to put them on their bodies. However, they are not allowed to wear primarily the 2 garments which are sewn. The 2 garments have to be seamless, without any stitching. The rest of the garment, for example, somebody has a thick abaya, and they just want to place upon themselves because it's very, very cold, that should be fine. Or in Arafah, or in Mina. People are in ihram, and they want to place a quilt on themselves because of the cold, that should be fine, because primarily the clothes that they are wearing are those 2 garments which are not sewn or stitched. After that, if they need excess garments to keep themselves warm, then such a thing would not be a problem. Wearing or applying surma to the eyes, coloreum, yes? And according to Ayatollah Sistani, if it's black, it incurs a penalty. If it's not black, and if it's not for beautification, it doesn't incur a penalty. Looking into mirrors is haram. Now this is misleading. We also looking into mirrors is haram, and you can look into a mirror and see the reflection behind you. Is that haram? Not at all. Looking into the mirror for the purpose of